Welcome to Insightly's webinar. I'm delighted to welcome you all today. We're going to be doing an actual hands-on demo of Insightly specifically for manufacturing firms. I'm super excited about this topic because it's one request we get all the time. People want to see a little bit more hands-on, and that's what we're bringing to you today. All right, well, let's meet today's presenters. First, I'm delighted to welcome Chip House. He is the CMO at Insightly, more than 20 years of experience in B2B software with some great companies that you can see there on your screen. And we also grabbed Luke Wade. He's from our sales engineering department. As a sales engineer, it's Luke's job to try to help people find the right software and derive the most value out of it. So it's ideal that he's joining us today. And a little bit later, we're going to meet Rhonda Dola. Rhonda is from Sigma Equipment Group, and she is from a manufacturing firm that uses Insightly every day. And so she's going to talk us through some of the things that Luke shares and show us how she uses that in her day-to-day practice. So we had a poll open while we were waiting with Tom Petty and while I was talking. So let's go ahead and see the results of the poll, and I'll let Chip take it away.
Thanks so much, Val. Well, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for participating in the poll. Looks like we maybe still have some results coming in, but we have a lot of people want to see dashboard customization. We have lead to op conversion and then mobile app. And I think you're going to see all of those things today, and Luke will be excited to show you those things. Well, let's go ahead and review today's goals for the webinar. So first of all, we want to talk about what manufacturing firms are telling us about CRM, and we have great data to share. Number two, how different roles in a manufacturing firm use a CRM to work smarter. Third, you're going to get a hands-on look at Insightly. And then four, like Val mentioned, we'll have time for your questions at the end, but feel free to chat them in as you have them, but we'll address them at the end. And so moving forward, to give you some more context around today's demo with Luke, I'm going to share some data from a survey of manufacturing firms. We asked our customers to tell us how using a CRM has helped improve their business and improve how they engage with their customers. We have more than 10,000 users in over 1,600 manufacturing companies worldwide, and over a broad range of industries like furnishings, electronics, aeronautics, and more. And we surveyed these companies, and 115 responded, or about a 7% response rate. We just added a few of the logos there for some of the respondents. And we compiled the anonymized results into an infographic that we'll be sending to you along with the recording of today's webinar. So don't worry, you're going to get to see these results afterwards. So let's talk about adoption, which is one of the critical elements of CRM. And lack of adoption is the top reason why more than 2/3 of CRM implementations fail. One of the primary concerns of a manufacturing company before embarking on implementing a CRM, either for the first time or in replacing an existing one, is whether the teams will actually use it. And the results of our survey showed that 77% of the manufacturers use Insightly CRM daily, and that 57% cited ease of use as the reason for choosing Insightly in the first place. So I think that's great news. So another important metric for manufacturers when you're considering implementing CRM is productivity. You want your team to be as productive as possible on the CRM that you select. So can you expect a reduction in effort on repetitive tasks? And that's a great way to measure this. The number of users who reported spending less time on administrative tasks tripled after implementing Insightly CRM. This in turn frees up valuable time for sales and delivery teams to focus on more engaging customer-facing activities. So one more metric that we're going to talk about, and then I'm going to pass this over to Luke to do the demo. One thing we talk about here at Insightly is enabling manufacturers to build manufacturing companies to build lasting customer relationships is, to the extent they can derive deeper insights about their customers. So 44% of respondents reported having deeper customer insights, having implemented Insightly CRM. Features like contact management, relationship linking, integrated project delivery. All of those ensure that teams from across the business can collaborate around a shared view of the customer and deliver exactly what is needed on time, every time throughout the customer journey. So that's the goal, is that single view of the customer. And it's great news that our manufacturers are seeing that. So now we're going to dive into Insightly. And to guide our discussion, Luke is going to talk through these different roles, which are pretty common, and what their daily use of CRM will look like. So Luke, we've got Maria in a leadership role, Chris in sales, Joe in the warehouse, and Tom in installation. So tell us where we should start.
Thanks, Chip. Let's go ahead and kick things off with Maria, SVP of Operations at a manufacturing firm. And let me share my screen here. Okay, so let's check out a personalized Insightly experience created just for Maria. As a senior operations manager, she doesn't need to get into the guts of the system. She cares about cross-functional reporting and team KPIs. When you first log into Insightly, you land on the Insightly CRM homepage, which we see here. But as Maria is an upper management executive, she needs to be able to quickly see information at a high level. And we can configure the system to show her only records and dashboards that are pertinent to her day-to-day operations. So I'm going to click this waffle icon at the top right, and I'm going to switch over to a custom app that we created for leadership here. So this custom app is tailored for Maria and the rest of the leadership team. And we will be switching between custom apps several times over the next 15 minutes as we navigate the Insightly experience from the 4 different personas that Chip just briefly introduced to you. So if you get lost, the name of the current custom app is displayed near the top left corner of my screen. In this case, we see that I am in the leadership app. So as we see here, Maria's homepage presents an executive dashboard, allowing her to oversee different lines of business within the organization and track progress across multiple teams. One of the many challenges that Insightly solves for is giving executives and managers the ability to quickly see their team's data at a high level in order to track each team's KPIs, deal progressions, project delivery statuses, and more. These dashboards can be created and modified with minimal time investment. While these enterprise-grade dashboard cards may seem complicated and difficult to configure, like all of Insightly, dashboards were designed with simplicity in mind. As such, Maria doesn't need any technical expertise to utilize Insightly's drag and drop dashboarding. She can spin these up herself and easily share them with the rest of the management team, so everyone is on the same page when making decisions. As you can see here, I have the ability to easily share these cards, delete them, clone them, refresh them if we have new data coming in, and I can also add them to other team members' dashboards. As far as the drag and drop capabilities that I just mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and edit one of my dashboard cards here. And Insightly makes it super easy to do so with this intuitive drag and drop interface. So let's imagine we want to add a time filter. I am going to drag over a date field from the left-hand side, and I'll just drag in forecast close date to the filter section. We'll set my filter, and I will say more recently than 1 year ago, and click apply. And what we see here is that data and the dashboard visuals update in real time as I make these changes. So let's go ahead and save this. Go back home. So that's Maria, SVP of Operations. Let's move on to Chris, who's one of our top sellers. Earlier, we talked about how important it is for your reps and other team members to adopt the system early for a successful implementation. To ensure that that happens, we want to give your sales team everything that they need to do their jobs and make it super easy for them to carry out their day-to-day responsibilities. Unlike Maria, Chris will be using the CRM multiple times a day to log notes, track interactions, and work deals. So what does Chris care about as a sales rep? So now what we're going to do is we are going to jump into a different custom app that's designed for the sales team and our sales reps, which is my sales custom app. So we're now looking at Chris's dashboard, where he's able to see all of his activity, various metrics about the leads assigned to him, like leads by status, where his leads are coming from, how he's tracking with his quota, his total revenue month over month and year over year, how his pipe looks, his biggest open opportunities, hot leads from marketing, and so on. Chris wants to see only information that's relative to him in his day-to-day functions. And as we know, not every manufacturing business has the same selling process. This is a common challenge that Insightly solves for, allowing sales reps like Chris to easily manage and navigate day-to-day sales activities and responsibilities. You may have also noticed that the sidebar on the left-hand side of my screen looks a little bit different for Chris than it did for Maria. Just like pretty much everything else in Insightly, you have the ability to customize which object types are visible for different individuals or groups so that each member of your team has a truly tailored experience and only sees the information relevant to his or her job functions. Since we're in Chris's world as a sales rep, let's talk a little bit more about leads and lead management. So I'm going to click on the leads object type here on the left. And there are a bunch of different ways that leads may come into your CRM system. You may have leads come in from your website. You may import leads from spreadsheets. Other leads may come in from webinars like this one or live events. Your marketing team may continuously pass qualified leads over to sales. Those are just a few common examples among many. If I click on the down arrow near the top left here, this is the list view drop-down selector. So once those leads are in Insightly, we can leverage Insightly's custom list views to segment those leads out so Chris can efficiently manage his day-to-day work. Let's say that Chris is a commercial window manufacturing sales rep. He may want to create a list view for open commercial leads, which is what we're looking at right now. That's going to give him quick access to a subset of leads that he may want to pursue, allowing him to efficiently manage his day-to-day outreach. And now let's take a look at one of these lead records. And I am going to open up Tanya Furley. So as you can see, I've opened up the lead record for Tanya Furley, who works for Apple. And we see that an overlay of Tanya's lead record opens up on the right-hand side of my screen. This is what we call Insightly's Blade View, and it's something that our customers absolutely love. Most CRMs require users to right-click and open multiple tabs or constantly press the back button to navigate through a list of records. Insightly brilliantly solves for that frustrating experience with our Blade View interface, which works for every other record type in addition to leads, which we see here. Accounts, opportunities, organizations, and all your other records offer Blade View for quick, clean, and efficient navigation. So if I want to look at another lead in this list, I can simply click on that lead, and we see that the Blade View updates without losing sight of my master list. This helps immensely with productivity, tab management, and sanity throughout the day. Chris can seamlessly work through this set of leads within a single window without having to manage multiple open tabs nor losing sight of that master list that Chris is working. So what happens with these leads in Insightly? Let's imagine that Chris speaks with Tanya, qualifies this lead, and he's ready to convert the lead into an opportunity. Let's take a look at how that works in Insightly. One of the many ways that we make life easy for manufacturing sales reps like Chris is making it effortless for sales reps to follow their company's unique sales processes, particularly for businesses with multiple pipelines and different stages for both leads, opportunities, and projects, depending on customer type, product line, industry, etc. So Chris has connected with this lead, Tanya. He's used his amazing sales acumen to identify the potential to win this customer's business, and he's gathered all of the relevant information surrounding product interest. Let's go ahead and convert this lead to an opportunity. So we can see that we have a visual pipeline of lead statuses here, and I can advance to any of these statuses by clicking on them. So I'll go ahead and click on converted here. And we are now creating a new opportunity for Apple with Tanya as the primary point of contact. We're taken to a staging area, which you see here, where Insightly can either create a new organization for Apple or link the existing organization if Apple already exists in our CRM. Insightly will then associate the new opportunity we're creating with that organization behind the scenes. As we can see here, Apple is already in our system. Tanya's a new potential customer working for Apple. So when we create this opportunity, Insightly is going to link it to our existing Apple organization without duplicating any records that would need to be manually merged later on. So I'll go ahead and convert this lead, click save. And this automatically takes us to our opportunity for Apple and Tanya. And let's take a look at this opportunity in Blade View here. So you can see that I am still in my sales app. I have my open opportunities list view open. And then we have this opportunity with Apple for Tanya Furley. All of the information from the lead record is automatically passed on to the opportunity when an opportunity is created. So there's no need for duplicate data entry with Insightly. Likewise, any files, notes, or email correspondence will come along from the lead record to this opportunity as well. In addition to viewing your opportunities in custom list views, Insightly also offers what we call a Kanban view that allows you to visualize all of the opportunities in your pipeline by stage. So let's take a look at an example of a Kanban view here. Insightly's Kanban view allows Chris and his manager to view all of his opportunities and his pipeline progression by stage, as you see here. Individual opportunities can be dragged from one stage to another, making it super easy for Chris to stay on top of his opportunities and allowing Chris's manager to grant any necessary approvals very quickly. So let's take a look at how that works. So I'm going to drag an opportunity from the discovery stage to the meeting stage. You'll also notice that you have the ability to automatically generate tasks, reminders, and or notifications when an opportunity advances to a particular stage. Insightly also allows you to generate quotes directly from an opportunity. So let's go back to our opportunity with Tanya. So here's our Apple opportunity for Tanya Furley. We're on the details tab right now. If I pop over to the related tab for this Apple opportunity, you can see that we have a section for quotes at the top. These quotes are generated using Insightly's Pricebooks products and quotes tool. You can add products prior to generating a quote, so you can add them at the opportunity level, and these products will be carried over. Or you can generate the quote first, add the products after, and that quote will sync back with the opportunity. So let's walk through how we might generate a quote here. First, I'm going to set a price book. Price books allow you to segment your product offerings into different buckets based on things like currency, line of business, etc. So I will select my commercial Windows price book here and click Save. And next, we'll add a few products from our commercial Windows price book. So I'm going to add products here. We see selected products at the top. I haven't added any yet, so we will drop a couple of these products in. And let's say that we need 10 of these sliding windows and 15 tempered glass. I'll click Save. One thing you may notice at the top here is that the opportunity value has automatically updated to reflect the products and the quantities that we've added. We're now ready to generate our quote. So I am going to click the new quote button. We will give this quote a name. You can add additional information here And you can also see that information is being passed over from the opportunity to the quote. So I'll go ahead and click save. That has created this new quote for me. And let's go ahead and take a look, and we'll open up this quote. We land on the details tab initially. If I jump over to the related tab, we can see that all of the products we added to the original opportunity a few minutes ago have carried over to our quote. And I now have the ability to update these products. I can add new ones, I can update quantities, I can add discounts. So let's take a look at how that works. I'm going to edit my products here. I'll add a 10% discount for tempered glass, and I will change the consulting services quantity to 2. So I click save. We see that again, our quote value and our opportunity value are both updated because I made those changes. So let's go back to the details page, and we're now ready to sync this quote with the opportunity, which will update the products in the opportunity and the opportunity value. I'm going to go to the actions menu at the top right, and we'll go ahead and sync this quote with the opportunity. So my quote and my opportunity are now in sync. We finalized our quote here, and now we can generate a quote PDF using a customized template that will automatically populate with CRM data from this quote record itself and or the associated opportunity, organization, or contact. So on the related tab here, I'm going to click the Create PDF button, and we will select my template for commercial quotes here. We'll generate this document. You can see that the quote PDF is now attached to this record. It's also downloaded. If I quickly open this up, we see that all of the information from the quote and the information about the customer has been passed through. We're now ready to deliver this quote for signature via email, and we can do that very easily using that same actions menu at the right. There is an option to email this quote. So let's imagine that Chris sends this quote out for signatures, it's signed and returned. Chris will then need to notify the warehouse team to prepare for shipment. We can now convert this opportunity into a project. So let's go back to our opportunity here. And just like we could use that visual pipe to change lead stages, you can also do so here at the opportunity record, or you can use the actions menu at the top right to convert this opportunity to a project. When we convert an opportunity to a project, Insightly will automatically populate all of the relevant project information from the op record, the window specifications, dimensions, quantities, etc. You also have the ability to copy emails, files, and notes over to the project if you'd like, which will provide the warehouse team with a complete picture of both the customer and this recently won deal. Insightly makes this handoff of client information from one team to another absolutely seamless. So let's go ahead and create our project. We have our new project here. You can see that information was carried over along with all of the attached documents. So now we're going to take a look at Insightly from a warehouse manager's perspective. We'll call him Joe. And so I'm going to switch into a different custom app that is designed for the warehouse team. And as you can see, I have my Apple project open in Blade View on the right. And if we look at the sidebar on the left in this warehouse experience, we see that Joe has quick access to all of the object types relevant to his work in the warehouse without any additional clutter. So what we've done here is we switched from a custom app designed for sales to a different custom app designed for warehouse workers. Each team is seeing only what they need to see and nothing else. Joe will likewise want his own custom dashboards that'll allow him and his team to easily track, manage, and prioritize all new and existing projects that have been created as a result of converted closed-won opportunities. So let's navigate to Joe's homepage here. And we will open up the warehouse operations dashboard. And so we see that we have the warehouse operations dashboard open here. This is where Joe can start to track things like the projects that are due this month, information on upcoming shipments, project overage metrics, quarterly net profit, and other KPIs pertinent to his warehouse team. So let's hop back over to our project. Once Joe and his warehouse team fulfill an order, they will then pass it off to the field service side of the business for delivery and installation. So let's go ahead and advance this project to the installation stage. So I'm going to click on the installation stage here. By moving this project to the installation stage, our field service team will instantly be notified that there's a new project that's ready for delivery and installation. We've also automatically scheduled several other tasks and an event to ensure that the field service team delivers within our SLA window. On the related tab, Tom and his team have access to all of the notes, the linked files, contacts, the parent opportunity, and most importantly, they have a link to the final quote that came over when this opportunity was closed and converted. This is yet another example of a seamless handoff from one team to the next using Insightly CRM. So let's pick this up from Tom's perspective. So once again, I am going to open up the final custom app here, which is my field service app. And after we look at this experience via web browser, we will also take a look at a few screenshots of the Insightly mobile app to see how this information is presented and how the mobile app can be used on the fly. So once a project is handed off to Tom, he can then delegate it to his field resources based on availability, installation date, geography, and so on. The field service team dashboard that we're looking at here provides Tom with a centralized view of upcoming activity and key metrics for his team. So that wraps up our live demo for today. As promised, let's take a quick look at a few screenshots from our Insightly mobile app.
All right, Luke, let's do it. I think I have those queued up for us. You want to talk us through these, Luke?
Yeah, thanks, Val. So as you can see here, the Insightly mobile app provides users with a fully functional CRM system on the go. The mobile app provides unlimited, instantaneous access to all of your CRM data, as well as any custom dashboards that you've set up. Custom apps created for different teams are available in our mobile app as well, which you can see here. I have opened up the custom app for our field service team. So as a quick final example, I've included some screenshots illustrating the mobile experience for an installation technician working a job out in the field. He or she can easily view, edit, and create projects, access related documents, add new notes or attachments from all from a mobile device. And that's all I have for today. Thanks a lot for your time. It's been a pleasure introducing all of you to the wonderful world of Insightly.
Thanks, Luke. Appreciate that. I hope you'll hang out in case any of our attendees have questions. But now we're going to spend a little time with our special guest. So I'd like you all to meet Rhonda Dola. She's from Sigma Group, and they are a manufacturing firm. As I mentioned earlier, they use Insightly CRM along with Insightly Marketing. Rhonda's risen through the ranks over the past 6 years and now is Director of Business Systems and Analytics. So I'm going to stop the share so we can chat with Rhonda a little more personally. And I'm going to go to our first question, which is, just tell us a little bit more about Sigma's products and services so the folks on the line get an understanding about what your company does.
Thank you, Val. And thank you to Insightly for having me on this webinar. It's always a pleasure. So to tell everyone a little bit more about Sigma Group, Sigma is a full suite of services for packaging and processing equipment for companies in the manufacturing space. Our primary division is Sigma Equipment. So we buy, sell, and rent used packaging and processing equipment, as well as new equipment depending on the customer's need. Along with that, we offer several complementary services. So we do idle asset management, auctioning off equipment, appraising equipment, everything that a customer might need when it comes to the life cycle of their equipment, primarily in the packaging and processing space.
Thank you. So there might be folks on this call who are on the cusp of choosing their first CRM. So can you take us into how Sigma ended up choosing Insightly?
Of course. The biggest thing that stood to us at Sigma when it comes to Insightly is it's not your cookie cutter platform. What we love most about it is it gives you a very strong infrastructural base to work from, and then you can mold and form that into your business vision. It's allowed us primarily to free up our development team to work on equipment related projects, since that's our bread and butter, that's what we do most, and free them up so they don't have to spend time custom building CRMs and invoicing platforms and document management platforms. Insightly out of the box gave us all of these things that we could use across the entire organization. So we freed up our development team, and we've looked more to Insightly as our strategic partner when it comes to all of that digital growth that Sigma was experiencing.
Got it. So there are probably folks on the line who are thinking, gosh, our processes are so specific to us. And you noticed that you mentioned that you customized Insightly. Can you talk through maybe a couple of things that you customized out of the gate?
Absolutely. I would say the biggest things that we use in Insightly are the opportunities and the projects objects. And Luke had gone through an example of both of them. We have completely customized opportunities and projects to fit our exact business needs. We've almost at this point completely moved all of our interdepartmental workflows and processes into Insightly using opportunities and projects. So this is how our employees communicate with their customers, and that's also how we communicate internally with each other. And the nice thing about that is it's all drag and drop, easy customization, not really a lot of need for custom development or anything that's going to take a lot of time for implementation. We always use the example here internally that you could have a meeting, and instead of a follow-up being someone needs to work on it, in the meeting, we sit down, we pull up Insightly, we drag and drop, we show stakeholders exactly what that's going to look like. We customize permissions, layout views, and then we leave the meeting with the deliverable already done.
Wow. I was thinking back to one of the statistics Chip shared earlier about adoption, and it sounds like you guys definitely checked that box. Personally, what personally do you use like most frequently, and what feature, and what do you get out of it?
I would definitely say custom fields. We have over 500 custom fields in Insightly across the different projects. And again, back to my earlier point of we're not really forced to work in Insightly a certain way. We were able to use all that customization, especially custom fields, to make Insightly do what Sigma needs it to do. And back to your earlier point about adoption, I would say that's kind of the biggest benefit that we have seen from it, because then stakeholders feel directly responsible for the work that they are actually using every day. So their voices are heard, they get direct input into how something is implemented. So that has definitely helped our adoption internally.
So if someone's on the line and they're a manufacturer, they're not currently using a CRM, it sounds like you probably have some good advice for them.
I would definitely say, regardless in which space you're in, specifically in manufacturing, because you don't necessarily see that a lot, providing one unique, cohesive experience for the customer has been the biggest benefit that Sigma has seen. Because we operate both on the buying and selling side of equipment, this is where all those relationships has helped us a lot. And then we were able to provide that one experience because you've got all your notes in one place, all your relationships in one place, or the linking connected. So regardless of who at Sigma talks to one client, we are all communicating the same way. We all have that background information of the journey that the client has been through with Sigma, which really makes us look like experts when we're on the phone with them.
That's so great to hear. We talk often about like how the right CRM can really align teams, and it seems like you're definitely living that. So, so thank you very much. If you've tuned in live today and you have questions for Rhonda or Luke, now's the time to submit them. In the meantime, I'm going to reshare my screen and pass it back to Chip, who can go over our big takeaways.
Thanks, Rhonda. That was great. Really appreciate it. And so let's review today's big takeaways. So I started out sharing some data from the survey that we had done. And the data shows significant gains with the CRM, reduced time on admin, a positive ROI in 12 months. And by the way, like we had mentioned at the onset of this, we're going to be sharing this infographic from the survey out to you afterwards. So you'll get to see all of the data from the survey. Number two, roles use CRM in different ways. And I think Luke laid that out super clearly. So there's a single source of truth for the business, customized views and dashboards based on interest. And it's really neat to see those different teams and how they really can get individual value from the platform. And then the Insightly user interface is intuitive, right? We get this feedback often. And so it's easy to get where you want to go. It fast loads. There's a blade view, as Luke highlighted, quick access to information. There's Kanban views for your pipeline, and a mobile app for your remote teams. So that's the big takeaways. And so Val, do we have any questions that have come in from the audience that we can go to?
So we had a couple come in on social media ahead of time. So let me get to those first. This one might be best for Luke. Luke, the project management functionality, is that a separate system or is it part of the CRM? And we had mentioned that Rhonda's team uses marketing automation. So are those separate or included with the CRM?
So project management is absolutely an integral part of the CRM. It comes with your subscription. There's no additional cost. We do have a separate marketing platform, a marketing automation solution that is built on Insightly's unified platform. So that is sold separately. And if you are interested in learning more about that or seeing a demo, please reach out to us in the chat right now or visit our website, send us an email, and we would be more than happy to show that to you.
All right, great. And this was the other one that came in ahead of time. Maybe Chip, you can respond to this. Does Insightly have a connection to QuickBooks or Sage?
That's a great question, Val. And what we've learned also in surveys is that accounting, right, is a super common thing to integrate with your CRM, and it comes up as one of the top needed integrations, QuickBooks specifically, but also other systems like Sage, ERPs, et cetera. And so the cool thing, which is why I like this question, is that Insightly is actually part of the QuickBooks provider program. And so we have a native integration with QuickBooks that can be configured right from inside the platform. And another option for integrating with QuickBooks for something even more custom is to use our product called App Connect, which is an integration product, no code, low code layer that lets you create integrations really to 500 or more apps, many of them accounting really across all different types of software. So it's a great question, Val.
All right. I'm not seeing anything come in from our audience, so we can probably just wrap it up. If anyone out there is interested in a demo of Insightly CRM or Insightly Marketing, just drop a line in the chat saying me or send a demo my way, and we'd be happy to set one up for you. Chip, Rhonda, Luke, thank you so much. I learned a lot, and I'm just delighted that everyone got to hear all your wise words. So appreciate everybody tuning in today. Thanks so much. Have a great day.